Take two of my hydrogen unit. Again, my name's Paul Murphy. I already did one video, but I'd like to do it again for comments' sake. People left comments and gave me ideas, and I also came up with some other things that, well, either that I had problems with or whatnot. You're probably looking at this right here. This actually was a small problem with this hydrogen unit. The water, as I was driving, was actually coming out and spilling into the other one. So what I did was I made it a little bit higher so it was harder for it to get up. The only thing I could get up was then gas. So it worked out pretty well. So far, no water. I mean, like, I got this little turn valve here that tells me how much water is actually coming through and getting to this point. As this fills up, once it gets to this point, hydrogen doesn't bubble anymore through here. So, anyway, I'm also going to use this video. I mean, a lot of people that I know personally wanted to know specifically how this works. This, let me open it up. This is the first canister. This is the one that creates hydrogen. It's quite hot actually right now. We're going to look, as soon as I get it off, you can see the steam coming out of it right now. There are two plates. Alright, very hot at the moment. They're not on right now, they're just hot. That's actually real steam that you see coming off of there just because they're hot. The water is evaporating. But basically what we got here, we got a hot and we got a neutral. We got a breaker right here, 30 amp breaker. It's just an inline one that trips when it reaches 30 amps. That way I don't have to drain my battery so much. This is a solenoid, which is also very hot. With this switch cord, I'm able to turn it on and off from inside the car and or the ignition. Anywho, those are the plates. You got some nylon right here so that the plates are touching. The plates are actually, in their own sense, perfectly just they're separated. They're not touching in any way. And that's the whole point, is you want the water that comes between them to pass through them. The shorter the distance, the better it can do. So that's why I got them about, I don't know, good 1/8 of an inch, 1/16th, or I don't know, probably not 1/16th, 1/8. But they're not too bad. You can actually see here there's a coil of wire as opposed to spliced it. It won't disintegrate as fast when I do that. I found that my wire just kind of turns to shit, kind of like these bolts are going to in a little while. There's zinc, but that gets in the water, as you can see. All the remains. That used to be pure distilled clear drinking water and a little bit of baking soda. I upped it a little bit from half a teaspoon to about 3/4. But let's see here. Anyway, that's how that works. The gas comes out of this hose because that's all it's left. Once the hydrogen is being created, it has to go somewhere. Comes out of this hose. This side is closed, and comes up and around. Like I said, I got it up here so that there's no water coming with it. Comes into the bubbler. The bubbler, as soon as I get it off, is quite simple. You don't have to have anything special in here except just normal tap water. Okay? The whole purpose is, well, at least as I understand it, if you want to know if your unit's working, you can feel the bubbles. Okay? And that just means that it's working. That's it. I mean, you can literally just grab this thing and, oh, I feel bubbles, gloop, 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 you know, and you continue. The other way that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get an amp meter. Obviously, it's mounted somewhere, and I'll be able to then see where or how much I'm being drawn and if it's obviously on. Anyway, it comes out of the bubbler, okay, and goes into this here, which I call a dryer. I made this out of pure PVC. It's pretty rigged, as you can see. I just kind of threw it together. But I got wire mesh all up in here. What happens is as it comes in, it actually gets trapped into that wire mesh, and if there's any water vapor at all, it will actually, as it travels through with the gas, it will try to kind of get trapped, and I'll be able to empty it with this nozzle. So far it's working really great because, I mean, I get a good amount sometimes. I realized though that most of the time I was getting it because it was sloshing around, and now that I changed that, I'm not really getting much at all, so this is probably going to become useless. I won't need it anymore. This I have is clear. The reason I made it that way is so that I can actually see if there's any water vapor here as well. Just kind of gives me an idea. But then, as you can see, it goes from clear to not clear anymore, and I got it clamped. Then it goes underneath the car and everything, just like I showed in the first video. Anyway, comes up here, and right now, here's the end of my hose. I don't have it hooked up. I used to have it hooked up right here. This wasn't working too well. This is something else. I don't know. I heard it from somebody and got it changed. But here's where I installed it instead. It's actually working a lot better. I'm realizing that the mileage has gone up since I started using that. It seems to be clearer, and by clear I mean it's more obvious. It's I don't know why I said clear. Anyway, this is mounted in there. It's threaded and everything. And then this hose, I'm going to show a demonstration real quick for my third video on how much hydrogen this actually puts out. You'll be able to see it. It comes all the way through the car and up to this point. I'll have it in a water bucket, and you'll be able to see just how much I got. Okay, hold on for that as I get the bucket.